Shalom and welcome to this channel. Previously, on chapter 8 of the book of Revelation, we learned about the four trumpets that were sounded in sequence, and vegetation, sea, water, sky were struck. And now in chapter 9, we're going to cover the sounding of the fifth and the sixth trumpet. Let's go through Revelation chapter 9 verse by verse. Let's read verse 1. Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. Remember, brothers and sisters, we spoke of this star in the previous chapter, chapter 8, and that this star is an angel. Hence, it is referred to as he. And this star or angel was given a key to the bottomless pit. So the bottomless pit is sometimes referred to as the abyss. If we read in the book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 31, on the NIV or the NKJV version, demons begged Jesus not to send them to the abyss. And again, if we read in Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 to 3, we see an angel from heaven who bound Satan and cast him into the bottomless pit or the abyss, depending on which version you are using. In 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4, God cast angels that sinned down to hell and delivered them in chains of darkness to be reserved for judgment. And here in 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4, hell is referred to as Tartarus or the abyss in other versions of the Bible. Verse 2, and he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. So now the abyss is opened by the star or the angel, and smoke like that of a great furnace rises. In Mark chapter 9, verse 43, we learn that hell is a place where fire shall never be quenched. So hence the smoke then that is arising out of this pit is because there is fire down there. And as a result, the sun and the air were darkened. Let's read verse 3. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. So the atmosphere will be dark because of the smoke from the bottomless pit, and out of the smoke locusts will come to the earth. And there is something supernatural about these locusts, as we hear that they were given power like that of scorpions. Brethren, remember, locusts are locusts. They have their own power, and scorpions are scorpions with a different power. So now if locusts have another power or are given another power like that of scorpions, it implies that there is some supernatural power that is possessing them. So there's a demonic or evil power given to these locusts. And remember, the smoke will come out of the pit. So whatever is in the pit or in the abyss is demonic. So these are locusts with demonic powers. Let's read verse 4 to 5. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. Their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. So, unlike in Revelation 8, where the trees and the grass were struck, these locusts were commanded not to harm the grass or any green thing, but only men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. Remember, brethren, the seal of God we read about in chapter 7. So men who do not have the seal of God will be tormented by these locusts. Remember, God is not tormenting men, but is allowing this evil. God is the one who is allowing it. He's not doing it himself, but he is allowing it. So these locusts work within the boundaries determined by God. And what are those boundaries? Remember, they were given authority not to kill men. So they will not kill men because they are adhering to what God commanded them. And they will torment men who do not have the seal of God. So they will know which human being does not have a seal of God. They will know, because it's God who commanded them. So they will know who has the seal and who does not have the seal. There won't be any confusion with these locusts. And they were also given 5 months time frame for their torment. So it will not be earlier than 5 months or later. It will be exactly the 5 months period that they were commanded by God. They will do as they were instructed. I looked up some symptoms that result out of torment by scorpions, and I'm just going to read a few. Swelling is as a result, sweating, vomiting, shortness of breath, diarrhea, heart irregularities, lung problems, liver and other organ misfunctions. These are just some of the symptoms if you are stung by a normal scorpion. So imagine these ones then, who are given a specific task to torment men who do not have a seal. So these are just some of the symptoms that those men will experience. Verse 6. In those days, men will seek death and will not find it. They will desire to die, and death will flee from them. So the days of this judgment by God will be so terrible. Those men without the seal of God will feel the effect of the torment, but they won't die. No matter the suffering, no matter how much those men will suffer, death will not come. Even if they try to kill themselves, still they won't die. Which just shows that everything was created by God. Even death obeys God. Verse 7 to 10. The shape of the locust was like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots with many horses running into battle. They had tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails. Their power was to hurt men 5 months. So here we are given a description of how these demonic locusts will look, that is their outside appearance, and also what they will do, which we've already discussed earlier. So it's clear that we are dealing with demonic locusts. Whatever possessed them made them to have these supernatural features, like faces like men, hair like women's hair, teeth like lions, with crowns on their head, breastplates of iron. So what came out of the smoke was a locust army of evil beings, or you can call it them demonic beings, from the abyss or from the bottomless pit. Verse 11. And they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. So this is a swarm of evil locust beings which have a king. And we are told that this king is an angel of the bottomless pit. So if this king then is an angel, this ties with what we've read earlier in verse 1. Remember, we referred to 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4, where we learned that the abyss is a place where angels who sinned were cast to by God. So he is the king over his peers, meaning over the evil angelic beings that are just like him. So this angel or king has a name, Abaddon in Hebrew, Apollyon in Greek. Why are we given then two names, meaning it's one being, but we are given the two names, meaning the interpretation of his name in both Hebrew and Greek? God is showing us here that this judgment will be upon both Israelites and the Gentiles. So we must not think that this judgment is only going to affect the Israelites. It's going to affect whether you are a Hebrew or you are not a Hebrew. So to the Israelites, this Hebrew meaning was given, this Hebrew name Abaddon. But if you are not a Hebrew, still Apollyon applies because it's the same being, if you are a Greek or Gentile. Remember, Paul did mention about a Greek and Hebrew in Galatians chapter 3, verse 28, where he says, whether you are Jew or Gentile, you are one in Christ. So other versions will say whether you are a Jew or Greek. So it all refers to what we've read about, whether you are a Hebrew, meaning whether you are an Israelite, or you are a Greek, meaning whether you are a Gentile. Not only Greeks, meaning everyone, including those who are none. In fact, all non-Israelites are included here. So this judgment is going to come upon every nation. Verse 12. One woe is past. Behold, still two more woes are coming after these things. So after all the terrors, the terrible times that will be brought about by this torment of these evil angelic beings, which appear as locusts, there is still much, much more coming, which means the two coming woes will be more terrible than this. So, brothers and sisters, we must be found in Christ so that we will be hidden from all these terrible events that are going to happen in these end times. Make sure you have the seal of God on your forehead so that you won't be tormented by these locusts. So I'm going to do a separate recording for the next seal, for the next trumpet, which is trumpet 6. We'll meet again then, brethren. Shalom.